do or you don't trust him. In Texas, they said, is you is or is you ain't? Either you is or you ain't. Which is it? There is no sorta in this thing we call faith. There is no sorta, kinda, maybe, sometime. You know, it needs to be that you trust God, that you trust him with the offense that is coming your way. And verse 6, let's look at verse 6. It says, if you had the faith as a grain of mustard seed, you might say to the sycamore tree, or some versions say the mulberry tree, be thou plucked up by the root. By the root. And be thou planted in the sea, and it should obey you. If you want an idea, for those of you who may not have seen a mustard seed before, if you look at the word Lord in verse 6, and you look at the O, a mustard seed is that small. So that's all the faith that you need. And he's challenging us to say, you know, you go to church every Sunday, and these were the disciples he was talking to. When he wasn't talking to the lost. So you go to church every Sunday, and you probably go to Bible study and prayer meeting and rehearsal, and what do we have? Young adults, and we have singles, we have youth. Every time the door is open, you're here. But yet, every time you get offended, you respond with an attitude. Something is wrong, and you need to speak to the root. That's what we need to do. Stop speaking back and talking back. Start speaking to the root of what is going on that causes you to have the attitude in the first place. And I'm just asking the Holy Spirit to open your minds this morning and to show you what it is behind your attitude. And you know what your attitude is. You know who you've had your attitude with. You know when that attitude comes around. And you know, it's amazing. Again, I'm going to go back here that we can be so sweet to those that we don't live with, and we go home and we're just horrible. And we take it out on our families. And see, because your parents' attitude was taken out on you, you got an attitude today. And now you are taking it out on your spouse and on your children, on your siblings, and on your parents. And if you would speak to the root today, because you know what the root is. If you would sit down and ask God to reveal it, he would show you.
Yes.
He would show you. The root, what's the root? I'm glad you asked. The root is when you were molested, when you were a small child, and you didn't deal with that thing. And you suppressed it, because that's what we do. We have these horrible things going on in our lives, but we get up on Sunday morning, we put on our Sunday go meeting clothes, and we come here and we put on big smiles like everything is okay. And everything is not okay. But because we are in denial, and we don't want anybody to know our business, we don't seek the help that we need. You run to pastor if you got a hangnail, but you need to run to pastor and confess what's really going on the inside, so he can help you get that thing out. The root. The root is daddy. He left. He wasn't there.
Come on.
The root is mama. She told you she wished she was never born. She let you know you was nothing but a burden. You were a hassle and a headache every step of the way. That's the root. The root is rejection. The root is you never felt accepted. The root is they didn't treat all the other kids like they treated you. The root is they were nicer to everybody else than they were to you. The root is I was ugly and nobody ever told me I was beautiful. The root. Go deep and speak to the root today. The root is, I'm mad at God because my mama died too early.